What's up?
Yo, how's it going?
Yo, I just to be cool with the young hip kids, 2 buttons down. 2 buttons down. It's a 2 button down Tuesday. If you don't, hashtag 2 button down Tuesday in the comments for everyone. We're getting wild here in episode 16. You divide that by 4. That's like 3, 2. That's a lot of months. That's a quarter of months.
I can't tell if I'm frozen or if you're frozen right now.
Am I really frozen?
Your face isn't moving, and I don't think you're that good at.
Well, that's fine. I'll stop the camera. Can you at least hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
That's well, hell, this is the best part about me, anyways.
Hey, what's up, Serge? Glenn Elron, Jeff Jacobs, and I am sharing this shit. I'm glad that he's letting other people know that he's not sharing it. That's what really comes.
Well, that's the best thing about Glenn. He always shares it and then tells people not to share it as well. It's like he's spreading joy. Shrug shoulders because you can't see me.
This is what I don't understand. Is like realistically, it's like I like to end a conversation by complimenting somebody because while they're saying thank you, right in the middle, I can hang up on them. That way, they know, hey, they're seen. Know your place. I'm very important, but that's just my opinion.
Did I pop back up, or am I still frozen, strokey?
You are still frozen.
Oh, okay, well, then I'm not. I'll just go back to this. Is it a good picture of me frozen though? Like, if I like?
Well, it's you kind of looking down. Like, can you see me?
Yeah, you're so animated right now. It's ridiculous. I'm just like I could tell you not smoking for 2 weeks is just like it's brightened up your skin. You're so lively.
Oh yeah, no, you're kind of like this. That's what you're. Yeah.
Well, let's see if he'll pop in. Let's see. If not,
eventually, that's probably something's gonna happen. I think it'll just make everything else entertaining because people are like, "How is Tim doing that? It's amazing."
I'll just I'll pop in with a dramatic effect. I'll be like, "You say what?" Tim emoji stroked out.
Congratulations! Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, it's what day am I on? Hold on, let's see. Last cigarette I had was 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. No, 2 weeks and 4 days.
Plus. You not smoking has fucked up your math. Like
it's a lot of things, man.
You're already like it's been a long time. You're talking.
It's been.
I've seen stuff, man.
It's definitely been a thing. It's definitely been a thing.
I don't even get to hang out with the people on smoke breaks anymore. They don't even invite me. I just have to sit inside with the coffee folks. We know how bored the coffee folks are.
This is the thing.
Yep, and talk about the lawn.
That's the funny thing is everyone on the street knows that I'm outside like every kind of hour or so having a cigarette. And now I haven't been out in 2 weeks. So I'm assuming that they think I'm dead because, I'm pretty fat. So people will make that connection. Like,
so you're assuming you got like John Goodman disease going on right now? Like
something like that.
There's a rumor going around right now. Like people are like, Dino's dead. Nuh-uh. Well, last time you saw him, was he looking good? Well, I need
not
to check
his best.
Let me check the papers. Is there? Do they still have papers? Like I don't know. It turns into a weird conversation after that. You're bringing on weird conversation amongst friends, but at least they're worried. Like my friends are like, "Where's Tim?" I don't know. Why do you ask? Like, why you bring him up? Oh,
he looks great. I don't know about that, but. It is dramatic. It is dramatic when your face just shows up.
We're gonna make it work.
You were fine. You were fine right until we started. I don't understand what happened.
No idea either. And then I was like, it started messing up on my end. I was like, I ain't fucking with anything else. And that's where the stroke victim happened. Like my internet, just man, it happens. But hey, we're working with it. It's gonna be fun this way.
It's gonna be something.
It sucks because I went with 2-button Tuesday too. You're not even gonna get to see the excitement. So sorry guys. Maybe I'll make it 3-button Tuesday next. We'll get crazy.
That's on. You got to go to the Patreon for that, guys. So you got to go to the Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be over at here. Yeah, you can. You can hit the Patreon of Eargasm, or you can also hit ours. You can hit our Venmo as well, because God damn it, we want to do this for you.
We want
Not
to
for
know
us.
if
We want
it
to do it for
works.
you.
Yeah,
Also true. Also true.
Like,
Send
just
us
see if
$1.
it. Yeah, like just to see if it works. It's a courtesy.
know.
Like, even when the guy invented the phone, someone called him to make sure it worked. So, like, that's what we're asking, a courtesy call for a Venmo. And I think, hey, I think that's fine. I think that's the right thing to do.
So bad. How was your week, Tim? How was your week?
Well, it's going swimmingly, and I don't swim. So I could get into a lot of stuff. But how was your week? We'll go with you first. It's always me, Dino. And how about you?
Well, I got a message from a friend who was like, "Hey, did Tim become Presbyterian and you spelt it wrong?" I'm like, No. He went pescatarian. He's like, "Isn't he in Illinois where it's mostly land?" I'm like, "Yes, he is." So I feel like there's a lot more happening in your life than mine.
Yeah, like the churches we go to are completely weird now, and I still don't understand what's happening in my life. I still can't say the word. So I'm just saying we're a pest, and that's what it is now. Because every time we go to a restaurant, it just seems like we got a lot of questions.
Tim's, yeah. Well,
so
Dino said he has friends. Thanks, friend. I really appreciate that.
You immediately lose credibility sitting next to me. It's like
the best. You know what?
Sit next to this? Are you serious? Who would have thought?
Listen, the best part about it is like, when you're a kid, you can just say, "Hey, are we friends?" And people are like, "Yeah, let's be friends." Great. But as you get older, I found it very funny because, let's be honest, people, comedy draws in people who, well, have some issues mentally. That's just good advice, okay? So when they're like, "So
I don't
we're
know
friends,"
what you're talking about.
Well, this is the thing is, people are like, "We're friends, right?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they're like, "That wasn't really a yes." And I'm like, "That's also true." That's like, I've really embraced the idea that not every question deserves an answer. Just I acknowledge hearing what you've said. That's enough. I don't have to say any more. Let's not be unreasonable. You know.
Well,
So
shit.
yes.
Like, yeah, that's all you can ask for. Like, I think that's a good thing. I think we're at the age now where friends are just passing by anyways. We all we're wrapped up in so many things, doing our own thing, that if you like sitting down and having dinner with a friend just seems like you're like a teenage date. It's a pastime, like almost. At least
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you get to do it a little bit more? I mean, especially with the COVID times. I'm not saying it's harder. I'm not saying around here everyone's like, "Whoa, we're in bubbles," like Jake Gyllenhaal in that shitty movie. No, we still doing it. It's just different, I guess. More just
Yeah. It's, in all honesty, it's more so that like that was a big part of our functioning as adults, was before the pandemic, that we would actually we would do that a lot. That was our thing. We would go for dinner because, like, Victoria and I don't really have a huge kitchen or dining area where we can relax with guests and stuff like that, right? So we would always go out for dinner, and that would be our hang out with friends, or friends would invite us over to their place and we would bring stuff, or stuff like that, right? So that was our big thing. And then for now, the last 2 years, just about 2 years, nope. So, but at the same time, I've lost 90 pounds. I quit smoking.
It's working.
You may have heard I started an awesome podcast. It's very incredible.
I've heard that. I've heard that. It's made me stunned silence. It's just shocked me to my
stunned
core.
Silence. I love it. Joshua Phelps says, "How are you doing, Tim? How are things going for you, brother? Going to share. Be right back." Hey,
thanks, Joshua. Big shout out. I know that dude is doing a lot of good stuff with his sons in BJJ, like brilliant Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Jesus Christ, that was like a tongue twister for my inbred teeth. I barely got that out. I stroked out. Like, you could tell. Look at me. I couldn't even say it.
I'm definitely getting a screenshot of that after this, just so you know. Okay, just gonna let you know. That's gonna.
Thank you. I need to because I think I'm really playing into it hard.
Really hard. Like I understand that, but yeah, it's very.
Well, hey, I gotta milk it. This week was a little rough for me. I went to International Pizza Company in Missouri, which is amazing. It's literally like Chuck E. Cheese, but with like go-karts and like actual like roller coasters and stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't ride the roller coasters. They have weight limits and they were strict policies. But
I had that a couple times. It's very
the
frustrating.
go-karts I could. So I was getting ready to run up and I see a guy standing in front. He looks like he's part of it, like the authority guy. So I go, "Am I too big?" And he goes, and kind of confirms that I'm too big. I walk back, and then that's when I realized I just asked a random father if I was too big to ride the go-karts. And here's where it gets sad. He confirmed I was. He was like, "Yeah, probably." But I was like, fuck him. I went anyways. So I'm now in this go-kart that's meant for two people, and there's no room for another person. But I have to still buckle up. They have to get me the seatbelt extender. Yeah. Oh, wah, wah. Like, seatbelt extender. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna hope.
Emotional damage.
Exactly. My child was there.
Use that goddamn thing. Yeah.
My child had to witness it with his friend. Like, oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Listen, it was definitely a wake-up call.
Here's a question for you, though. When you got in, you finally buckled in. Did you hit the gas and it didn't move? Because that's what happened to me. Okay. I got in. Everything fit. They got me a bigger one. No problem. I hit the gas. It was like, whee! And did not move.
Mine moved. Now, was it quick as a rabbit? No, it wasn't Jack be nimble or quick, but it got around in a circle. I was last considerably. Like everyone else gets the victory cooldown lap.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Let's just say I was a little too far behind to get like they immediately said, just pull in, sir. You know, like,
you're done. Just come on.
I'm done.
So we have Henry Reid saying, "I'm in a bubble," which you know what? I'm not sure that the bubble thingy has worked during this whole time. Glenn, I'm seriously very lucky. I have 3 really good friends who would drop everything for me if needed. Those are imaginary friends, Glenn. You should talk to somebody. Ryan, I've never been invited to your place for dinner. There's a good cause for that.
Well, why get international borders involved? That seems rough.
Yeah, I'll invite you to drive like 7 hours to come see me. Sure. So Facebook user, fuck that. I love this pandemic. Saved me from having to socialize. Yeah, I agree. Like, look, I'm not anti-vax. I am definitely pro-pandemic. We've covered that many a times.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what you're saying. You've said that many times.
Many times, because I'm like, no. Listen, I hate people in general. So this has been a great experience for me, and I've been able to make people laugh and enjoy their time, even with this all happening. So
I got
it's good.
2 more things, and we'll go into your Am I an Asshole? One, we went to the St. Louis Aquarium.
Awesome.
We got to ride this virtual train, and the ghost of John Goodman was talking to us. It was insane. His voice was there. I thought it was a ghost. It was insane. Like, I'm not sure if he's alive or dead on that one, but I'll Google it after this. But afterwards, we got to see like actual animals. Found out otters are like really fucking hardcore. Like alligators can fuck you up, like category 1.
Yeah, they got a lot of teeth.
And they can get COVID, which is sad because they look so cute. I know they can get COVID. They had to be like through plexiglass. We couldn't even really see them. They had to be. We could, but couldn't. And then we got to see cockroaches, and apparently you can keep them as pets, which immediately got me pissed off because we grew up so poor, Dino. We could have been storing that shit and selling them as a secondary business, and they didn't even look. They didn't even have the foresight. Like, that's what sucks. When you live with people that have no drive, Dino, and no foresight to make a little profit.
Emotional damage.
They didn't hiss, but we could put like a sound box in there or something. We could give them a gimmick.
Could they hiss in
light
unison?
on them.
I feel like you could, Christmas caroling and all that.
Jobs on my middle school. Yeah, hey, dude, thank you for STD podcast says congrats on my job as a middle school janitor. Yeah, dude, I was elementary school forever, so it's nice to finally get up there with the big boys, JV style. Soon varsity's calling.
So Serge says, I hate people too. And as well, did you do the arch? I love the arch, so worth it. Why is Tim not moving?
I didn't do that. Am I still not moving?
No, you're still not moving.
No, guys, I am moving. I'm like a sloth. You just gotta like I move at a slow snail speed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. I didn't have my coffee this morning. I
don't know what is happening. That is very messed up. Did you go to the Arch? I've never been to St. Louis, so I wouldn't.
No, I've been drunkenly driven by sitting passenger with my friends in high school many times going to the Arch. Never been inside it, but I'm incredibly scared of heights, and I hear that it sways back and forth, and that's a terror I don't want to incur.
That's fair.
I don't even one of my main things I hate about going to St. Louis is the bridge over the Mississippi River. I have a big phobia over bridges. I immediately click open, roll down my window a little bit, take my seatbelt, unclick it, because I've watched too many grew up on melodrama movies where at the end the guy's like, I'm getting ready to go home, everything's awesome, oh no, black ice, bridge, whoosh, dead, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's all the worst things. So
before you land, a shark gobbles you up. Is that
a Mississippi shark? Think about that.
There actually are sharks that have been found in Lake Michigan that they say that specifically came through the Mississippi. That's actually a thing. Just so you know,
I would believe it.
If you're scared of heights, don't recommend the Arch.
I tell you, it's not a good time.
And also, bring yourself out of StreamYard and back in should fix the problem. But
I'll do that later. I'll leave.
Never doing the Arch. I almost punched my teacher in elementary school over that. Kept trying to get me go up. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing is, I'm not afraid of heights necessarily, but if I'm scaffolding, no, I'm not doing that. Right? I don't mind going up as long as being in a tall building, being on a balcony, no big deal. But if you go up to a balcony and the railing isn't secure, I'm not going to go close to the railing. I'm not a dipshit, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's an actual Southern Illinois is home to a place called Garden of the Gods, and it's literally just a big rock, open, hey, here, stoners, here's a pass for you to get a bunch of hippies can come and sit down on a rock and get stoned at 2 a.m. and then families show up later, or something like that. It's more just a hangout place with a lot of cool stuff, rock formations, waterfalls. But that's where kind of my fear comes from, because it was my family was like, let's get on the edge, and I'm like, no, I'm cool over here. I the view's great over here. Don't need to risk it, Yeah. But,
so Joey Edibles mentioned that fear is called Yephidophobia, which is correct. That is actually true, because Yephida means bridge in Greek, and phobia means fear in Greek.
Oh, STD, why did you play to his Greekness? It's over now.
So hard. Yeah.
He immediately changed his voice.
My Greek show. We will talk about Greek things, and we will learn the Greek. It is wonderful. So the cards on the right. Yeah,
actually, this goes with it. No, this goes with you, because I finally understand you hate the mispronouncing of Greek words. My wife does this. Not Greek words. We had a very heated discussion. Have you ever seen a slug bug and then shout out the color and maybe punch the guy next to you?
Yeah.
What do you call that
beetle?
game? Huh?
Oh, damn it. What do you call that game?
I've always
Punch Buggy. Yeah.
Punch Buggy. Okay. I've looked it up. That's weird, but you're Greek, so we let it go. It's called slug bug around here. You said punch buggy. My wife calls it punch bug. And I was like, no one's ever said that. I looked up.
Like, I don't think that is. Yeah, that's
not a thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is that in the States. Slug bug sounds. Is that? Did you find it that's in Illinois?
Slug bug's what I've always called it. My wife called it punch bug, and I laughed at her, rightfully so, and began to go into my ridicule nature. But then I had to look it up, and punch buggy. And she's like, well, that's the same. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not at all.
Punch buggy, no punchbacks. That, like, I don't know what it's called, but that's what you do. You'd be like, oh, blue punch buggy, no punchbacks, boom, and you hit somebody.
Yeah. She goes punch bug, so it just sounds like she just wants to punch people. Like she's just like mosquito decks you. Like,
yeah, you draw a mosquito on your hand and then smack people in the back of the head. Be like, oh, sorry, got it. Don't worry.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, trust me. There's an art to it. Sometimes you find being there hippie. Sorry, you were saying about the tight fit. Oh no, it was the punch buggy pronunciation? Yeah. Well, slug bug sounds very American too. I don't know.
Well, she won't say pint right either. She'll say pint, and that.
Oh, that's I'm done.
I will flip tables.
How dare you?
She also does. I think the last two, the pint and this one, I think she does on purpose, just poke at me. She'll always say she's like younger than me, even though we're born in the same year, but not add up the year to make the math seem right. Because it's like, are you just trying to fuck with me? Like, I got a GED from Mount Carmel. Like, you don't want to mess with this.
You Mount Caramel? Yeah.
Mount Caramel. No.
Let's have that conversation there, Tim. No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. It's not.
No, if you go to the
missing
town,
letters.
I assure you there's nothing sweet about it.
No crotch shot. That seems like an awesome game, though. I feel like that is that's how you overcome sexism right there. Silverado crotch shot, no crotch shot backs. Damn, right in the nuts.
He's actually a little bit right. We play wrestling, and we have weird finishing maneuvers. Hers is the toe in the hole, and that's a swift kick in my asshole. It may be some fishtail wiggle action that I am not okay with ever. And then I may have my I'm not going to pronounce it, but I have a special punch that I'll say that just goes to her core. So like this is all fake. No, nothing really happened. It's like play. Tickling and stuff like that, but the toe in the hole is something to be feared. I'm just saying. I
feel like there's also like a Zorro component where it's like bang, and then you're like, like you would suffer for a week because you're like, oh, why the nails?
That makes sense because I was thinking that too. It was a Z. It wasn't. It's an N. Name was an N. It was just the wrong direction, but I was so disorientated because I don't know what direction's down there. Like,
well, you don't have the same nerve endings back there as you do everywhere else. You're not gonna. It's not like the palm of your hand where you can tell. Like, come on, there's.
Thank you. That's true friends out there. If you're listening, that's true friends. He was like, hey, you can't blame that on your anus, bro.
No, that's not how that works. It's not at all.
Jeez. Well, hey, that's a perfect segue, I think.
It's a perfect segue. Listen, it's just
emotional damage.
I just love that. It's just so accurate. It's just like, this is the thing is I messaged Stephen Hay for that and I'm like, hey, can I use this? He never responded, which I'm like, I didn't expect him to, but at the same time, it's hilarious. I love it.
Oh my Lord, it fits.
Well, he's a talented guy, right? Like, come on. But fair use, and this is funny as shit. And realistically, it's a lot better than the one since your screen still has fucking changed. Oh,
I know. I may leave the studio as you do the wipe real quick for it and see if you can bring me back on.
Yeah. Okay. So let me do that, and we're gonna have this. All right, everybody. So we have Am I the asshole? Specifically, there is a story I'm going to tell you guys, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. But I want your opinion if this person is the asshole or who's the asshole really in this situation. So I'll read it out to you. I was brainwashed at an early age that loyalty and hard work. Should I wait for Tim? I should wait for Tim. Let's wait for Tim. Tim should be coming back. Let's hope so. In the meantime, yeah, guys, hit us up. Like, share, subscribe. And there's Tim. Hey, there you are, buddy. Welcome back.
Am I moving?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, with regards to am I the asshole? All right, so I'm going to start the story. I'm going to tell you. So I was brainwashed at an early age that loyalty and hard work would add countless zeros to your paycheck. I remained optimistic that receiving year after year of 3% raises and working holidays. I missed my children's first steps, their school functions, and other life events so I could make the CEO more money. After the passing of my stepfather and my boss calling me during the funeral, asking me to troubleshoot an issue while my mom cried into my shoulder, enough was enough. I changed companies, made the personal pledge to put family first and my career a distant third or fourth. Fair. Okay. Fast forward to present day, I find myself as the cornerstone of our department. Many of our clients' processes are automated through custom API developed by me. I have maintained a thorough documentation library on how to support the API, the reports, and all of its dependencies. I have offered to train backup so we are not single-threaded. My manager told me, no way, we would never do anything to lose you. Up to now, life was good. Okay. At the beginning of December, ABC Company, which is the customer, was audited by the government and found out to be out of compliance. They hired my company to regain their compliance by the end of the year or risk fines nearing $750,000. ABC Company dragged their feet, getting us the information we needed to start on the work. Definitely an issue. I save my vacation days so I can take the week between Christmas and New Year's Eve off. I spend it with my kids to make up for all the time I lost when I worked when they were younger. This time is very precious to me. So far, what do you think, Tim? It's fairly reasonable, fairly calm.
Yeah, it sounds like a guy went up. Like he found a situation that wasn't really benefiting him in a company. I sound sophisticated in real life now. I'm like getting all, hey, now that you can see me, let me get in close and talk seriously. But no, it just sounds like he did the best thing so far. Okay. And he's doing what he can.
Absolutely. So last week and this week, I have been notifying the project manager and my manager about my time off. I let them know I would need ABC Company's information soon so I can start on it. I offered to work extra hours to ensure my piece would be finished prior to Christmas Eve. On Tuesday, my manager calls me and tells me ABC Company finally sent the data over. I requested it over 2 weeks ago. He looked beaten because he knew what was about to happen. I told him who should I walk through the project with because I'm off after Christmas. My manager said, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to work. I declined your time next week. I asked, what happens to my vacation? My boss says, I'm sorry, you know the rules, use it or lose it. I fought for you, but HR wouldn't budge. So in response, I drafted my resignation letter after the call, set it to delay delivery on Monday at 8 a.m. and closed up shop. ABC Company will pay $750,000 because nobody knows how to program that system since there's no backup. Our other clients will be expecting their monthly, quarterly, and annual reports within the first week of January. No one knows how to do this. We had 6 projects in progress involving extensive API and reporting. Now those projects are dead in the water. 7 clients prepaid for API and automation upgrades in 2022 Q1. I don't know what will happen to those. Please remember family first and you never get that time back. So
why you put me in this situation, Dino? Why you gotta put me? Because there's more.
Oh, there is more, sir. There is more. Okay, this is where the plot thickens. So, this is the screenshots of the text conversation between the manager and the employee. It says, "Hope you have a great Christmas. Please call me as soon as you can. I received your email. I understand that you are upset, but resigning is not the best choice in this circumstance. Blank have been your friend for 5 years. I'm asking you as a friend, not a manager, to reconsider and call me. Let's talk about this. Hey, you made your point. You can have today off if you call me and let me know when we can expect you tomorrow, but you need to call me. This is ridiculous. Do you know what your actions are going to do to the company, to me? You made your point. Just call me and we will figure out your vacation. But we need, we went over the
to summarize, is this guy basically, he's wanting him to come in, and the guy's like, nah, I'm not going to come in.
I quit. So this is where it gets interesting. He goes, you got us help here. You got to help us here. Call me, dude. Log back in and help us fix this stuff. Name your price. The states can't see their reports. Blank is going to fine us. Wants to know if the reports will be completed by January 6th. Family is important, but we are talking about people's jobs on the line. He goes, hey, I'll be happy to return to work for $80 an hour, $5,000 immediate sign-on bonus, and 6 weeks personal time off with a 12-month guarantee. Send that to me in writing, and I'll start immediately.
You don't have to read anymore. I already made up my mind. And this is going to be controversial. Fuck the worker. This motherfucker, I'm sorry, but your best friend put you in the thing, and this is not even his fault. This is the company before him, and you're going to fucking ruin him, his business, and the other business because you want your 2 weeks off. You already signed your resignation, so why do you also then have to corrupt the company further to cause them $750,000? Like that, just because your expertise, if that's the case, then the company will call and need you. It sounds like you're just really fucking your friend because there's a lot of people that can replace you, and you're just mad that they fucked you on Christmas. And welcome, it's a company. Why didn't you use your 2 weeks of vacation in the summer like everyone fucking else? Like, I just don't get it. So, like, no, I don't think, I'm not going to buy the sympathy of this guy who's now making demands to a company that he put in the situation to begin with. Like, so I hate to be that guy.
Hold on, but think about it. He actually, in turn, was the one who talked to the employer and said, hey, listen, I'm happy to train people. He has documented everything. And in actuality, so our guest is here too, so I want to wrap this up as quick as possible. But the workplace continues to call this guy's dad, who's the emergency contact. He's like, please stop calling my dad. He has nothing to do with this. You can call me all you want, but don't call my emergency contacts. I resigned. I did not die.
Well, then we'll sugarcoat it. Maybe not the worker. The guy who hired his friend is the asshole because he now looks like one. Don't hire your friends, man. Like, because he's probably thinking he's talking to dad because he's been over and ate peanut butter jellies with old Jim. He knows old Jim. I can't talk to old Jim now. Fucking Carl, you're going crazy on me now.
And this is the thing, Tim, is if it was just him trying to stick it to the man, I'd be like, listen, you're kind of a dick. But the employer or manager says, here are your priorities. Fix state dailies, complete the job, provide these reports, and train your backup. How much time will it take to fix? So the guy responds, and this is where you see how things are changing. He goes, what does this mean? He goes, to be 100% clear, I resigned today. I don't have priorities or projects. I am no longer an employee. That's the responsibility of the corporation, right? And this is what we've seen is that people will get fired and there's no new rehire, spots don't get filled, things like that happen, and essentially it just falls apart. And you're going, listen, it's not his job to plan for those kind of situations, right? And he's saying, sorry, hey, I don't have priorities there. I quit, right? Like, are you going to call an employee after 6 months and go, hey, why didn't you do this 6 months ago? Huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say 100%. Like, you got some points there, and it seems like he now that you're on slide 3, maybe I was a little hastily on my
I understand
asshole. But honestly, when you start fucking with people's jobs, it becomes personal. Like that, and I was making metal, and we would have thought you were fucking. We were curing cancer, so like a big thing. We were in lab coats because we were in beakers. No, we were in lab coats, so we didn't get burns from the welding marks on our legs. Like, but we still took. So it's kind of cool, I guess I should say, that two people take pride so much that they're going to fight. Like, these are two people that not only take pride in their jobs, but who they are and what they can afford. So what we're seeing is a dick measuring contest in DMs right now.
Oh, definitely. To the point where this guy is like, listen, he goes, you've already cost us $19,000 an hour in every delay that happens. So come back. And the guy's like, listen, man, I don't care. I told you what my breaking point was. You completely disregarded it. So
he should have left it. He's fishing in a fucking dry hole, man. Like, and it's just going to irritate people.
Oh, and then like, of course, then they're like, you know what? Fine, we'll give you $10,000 to do it right now. He's like, that's a generous offer, but I'm firm on my offers. But I'm telling you, you don't need me. The answer is in the. So the thing is, the way to solve this is still there. They just never bothered to have anyone to look at it.
Well, also when you start talking to people like prostitutes, it just shows like, hey, why aren't you a real businessman? This is how I get ladies on the street. I throw money at you and you do what I say. Like, arr.
Well, and that's that. It goes on and on. I encourage everyone. Essentially, they explained exactly, and he just goes. He goes, listen. He goes, sorry. He goes, I have all my backups there. They chose not to hire anybody. Chose not to back up everything. Not to have anyone as my understudy per se for the job because it's so important. He goes, and then you're gonna turn around and tell me, oh no, you can't have that time off. And look, it's not just about hey, you can't have your time off, but because you can't have that time off that we've already agreed to. In response, you lose that time off and you get nothing, which you're like, hey, fuck you.
I think I've got it through the first ever to be continued. Am I an asshole? Till after our guest, we may talk it a little bit further because I think this needs a deeper dive because I think we're the first time we might seperate on this.
It's worth talking about, though. It's worth talking about.
I'm actually very excited about our next guest, man. Dude, the dude's did it all. He's had all the verbs, man. This motherfucker is amazing. He's a stand-up comedy. He's been in movies. He runs his own podcast. Very privileged for him to come here.
Absolutely.
And to introduce our new segment, Nestled in.
We're still working on timing. Sorry about that.
It worked. I'm fucking beaming. Look at me. That's my proud baby boy up out there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, please, without further ado, please bring up Anthony Rogers. Anthony Rogers, what's up, man? Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks, guys. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for having the show.
Oh, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. By the way, awesome beard.
Thanks, man. I just grew this.
Well, I hope so. I hope it wasn't implanted or anything.
No, I just grew it just for the show. Like I figured you guys, I heard you guys like beards, so I went ahead and did something special for it and grew this giant beard for you guys.
I feel like that's definitely like a holding your breath and kind of push out as hard as you can. It just grows.
It would. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it was worth it. You know.
Commend you. I actually hate my beard, but if I shave it, I don't get laid. That's the rule in our marriage.
Yeah. No. I noticed that rule too. If I'm 20 pounds overweight, I need a beard. I think
it works.
I needed a few extra beards. That's what I need.
that or tattoos, I guess. I should get like an arm sleeve or something. I think you need that just to stay in the game still.
Oh, when in doubt, nautical star it up, man. Like that's the way to be. Hey, thanks for coming, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Introduce you to our fans out here. I know you a little bit, but just a little promo time for yourself.
My name is Anthony, and this is my couch. You're staring at my couch right now.
That's a fucking sweet couch. I ain't gonna lie. Like I got that futon thing from Walmart. You have to build with an Allen wrench that they supply it in the box. That shit doesn't work. That doesn't work for me, man.
What happens, man? We all had some bad times with couches, some good times with couches, right?
That should be on a t-shirt.
Damn. Now I'm thinking, have I had a bad time on a couch? And I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, Dino, his elite.
Lazy.
I apologize for Dino. Like,
I'll try to forgive him. I'll try to forgive him.
I'm Greek. There's no forgiveness. We don't care.
Well, hey, I gotta ask. You've actually worked with some actually very notable people in the movie industry. Very commendable. Is there anything you can maybe stories without getting too much detail because I know how it is in show business and whatnot, but is there like a funny story that you may have countered on set you can share with us?
All you have to do to be in movies is suck Harvey Weinstein's dick. That's it. You know, it's not that hard. You just gotta find Harvey Weinstein, track him down, and then blow him, and then you get whatever movie you want. That's how it works.
Well, I've been on his guest list for prison, so I'm hoping for the best.
You'll be in there soon. Yeah, you'll be in Spider-Man 45 before you know it.
Hey, Rhino. I'm hoping for it. That's the thing.
No, I mean, best actual story. I was just talking shit 'cause it's funny. Best actual story. Like I don't know. I drove to Canada for my first movie on acid. That was fun. Like on a sugar cube of acid, and I had to go to Canada, and I didn't know anything about Canada or like kilometers or anything. That was fucking weird. And,
that's fair. I am in Toronto, Canada, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, as soon as you cross the border, my data plan goes out, and I'm like, oh fuck, I was gonna cheat off my phone to see like how fast I was supposed to go, and then I finally found out that like on my gauge it told me miles and kilometers. Like 2 days in, I figured that out without getting pulled over somehow.
That is pretty fortuitous.
It was one of the most hated filmmakers too. Like Uwe Boll, like everybody hates him. I think he's awesome, but like everybody, like he's like one of the most hated filmmakers of all time. If you Google him and stuff, and that's why I wanted to work with him. It was my dream to work with the most hated filmmaker of all time.
Actually, I commend him. I'm familiar. He's the one and dude. Like he actually people talked crap about his movies, and he I think he boxed some critics.
Yes, he did. He boxed like 3 of them in a row. They boxed 3 of them in a row, and beat their ass. Yeah.
Yeah, the dude's legit.
He's legit, man. I asked him about that. He goes, I was like, well, did they ever get anything on you? They hit you once or twice? He's like, I got a little sweaty.
Hey, man, if you're going to throw down, be ready for it. That's fair.
Oh, yeah. He bought them tickets. And he put them up in a hotel and everything. Like, they're all like, oh, free vacation. And then, like they get and he just beat the shit out of him in the ring, man. Like 3 of them in a row. It was great.
I'm getting goose pimples from it. Like it's pretty cool. The dude gets one. I see one. I think there was just a minor shot of it. What I saw a picture, but the dude was in the corner and it wasn't working for him. Bull was going to town.
Well, but Uwe's actually a Golden Glove boxer. Like they found out like after the fact. Like he's actually like a Golden Glove boxer. He's just biting a bunch of like internet blog nerds. You know. It was hilarious.
They go in there. The pen is mightier than the sword.
Not so much.
Yeah, yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to piss off a German boxer. It's like, Jesus.
I actually, one of my guilty, House of the Dead.
Oh, great movie! Yeah.
Love the movie. Just cinematically, it's what I don't know. I think more movies need to be like. We get so lost into just plot and meaning and stuff like that. This was just a good time. I know that sounds mean, but like from beginning to end, it was just an action-packed good time. And some of the cinematography on it, highly underappreciated. Some of the scenes where they're jumping over things, like do a 360 view. I was like, I remember going, oh my God, rewind it, Mom. Come on, let's do this.
That's all like Assault on Wall Street was for me. A couple other movies of his. I like a lot of his movies, man. Like I like Postal, and I like the Rampage series. Like that, I was in the third one of that. That was like my favorite trilogy of his. Like or movie, like even movie like separately. Like Rampage is pretty good. Yeah, no, I think people like made fun of him. He like talks a lot of shit. Like you'll have somebody like make fun of him and just be like fuck you, like basically, and then they get mad and boils up and turns into like a blog or something, you know.
Right. That makes sense.
That's where I think a lot of that happens, and like he just kind of that German tax loophole he took advantage of in the early 2000s. I think a lot of filmmakers just felt stupid compared to him and like had to like make fun of him. He was like he was basically getting paid to make movie. Like he would put a couple like 200,000 or so into a movie, and then like he'd get it back from the German government for that German tax loophole. Yeah, the Matrix 2 did that, and then that was the last. And then Hollywood figured it out, and then Germany stopped doing it.
I think I could be wrong. I think Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit actually got started overseas directing because of some of their incentives that they have. I don't want to say it was definitely. I can't look at me. I shouldn't pinpoint any country. I'm not that type of guy, but I know he directed a few, and is well loved in Russia, by the way. So
he's got a VK account, like that's like the German or the Russian Facebook. Basically, he's got like he's pretty big in Russia. It seemed like.
Interesting.
Well, that's what on the set. Is he the same way offset? Like when you see him in the interviews, both?
Yeah, but like it was like my friend, so he's like cool to me. Like I could see him not being cool to certain other people though. Like I can kind of see if you're like a dumbass, like I don't think he's not gonna have a good time. He got kind of mad when I ran for office as a Republican too, but he still endorsed me, like even though he fucking hates Republicans, but he still like endorsed me as like a friend though. But no, he gives me a lot of shit. I'll ask him about like fun in a movie or something like that. He's like, why don't you hit up the My Pillow guy or whatever, you know? He'll just like go off on me about being Republican. But other than that, I mean, we're pretty good friends. I can email him pretty much any time and talk to him. And like he's making that Postal too, and I think I'm playing like the Unabomber or something in that.
That's awesome. Postal, the first one went places, man.
Dude, that intro was ballsy.
Oh man. Talking about Ballsy, man, you're a stand-up comic too. I've actually been following you for a while. We're kind of in the same area.
Yeah, you're pretty close to me.
Yeah, right, dude. And what's one thing going on right now in comedy you wish you could change?
Well, everybody getting canceled. We're stuck with like Grandpa Dave Chappelle now. It's like they're like, come on, Grandpa Dave Chappelle, tell us about when you used to be funny.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, kids, and he's smoking cigarettes. And he's like, well, I used to be really funny. I had this show and I did all these things, And then like all the other guys get canceled, so we're just stuck with Grandpa Dave Chappelle and like what's left of Pete Davidson.
Oh man, and he's withering away. I
Wasn't
think
much to begin with, was there?
Yeah, no, I don't think there was. Yeah, he looks like some I don't know. He looks like an OxyContin test subject with AIDS or something. And like Lauren Michaels has him like hooking up with every girl, like pretending like he's like fakes all these relationships for publicity because nobody wants to fuck him and he's not that interesting, So it's like really weird, like that, like he would be the comedy star right now. Like everybody else got canceled, but Pete Davidson's allowed to make jokes still. It's like,
well, I think it's literally Lauren giving us the middle finger, saying, "Oh, you think I can't make stars anymore, motherfucker? I'll shove Pete Davidson down your damn throat. I'll make him a star.
He's like, give me Adam Sandler and a bunch of heroin and and some shitty basement tattoos."
It seems like the formula. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, and he's not that bad. It's just like I'm annoyed. All the funny people got canceled and we're stuck with only Pete Davidson. It's just like. It's like, can we just like bring back some people's Twitters and like bring back some people's like Facebooks and like I don't know, bring back some people's careers so we could like laugh again, Like for being a comedian, you should just be funny. I don't really care about anything else. I don't like, It's just
dude. Really, I agree. It seems every week a comedian gets canceled, and it's usually a failing. Oh, I'm not coming to your show, motherfucker. You never came to begin with. What are you talking? Yeah. I looked at your profile. You can't afford $5. Like if the show was free, you'd still ask for some money. Like you can't afford a free show. So I get what you're saying. I actually got into. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. But Bob Saget was in the news, and there was a lot of rumors going around him that were just ridiculous. And I was like, hey, guys, this is wrong. Here's a link of proof. And you would have thought I was the worst person in the world. They came out of the woodworks to show me their feelings. And that's the one thing I hate, maybe, feelings over facts. But I agree with you 100%. Do you think cancel culture is ever going to change, or is it ramping up to a point where it's almost like monetized?
There's only two ways it goes. I mean, the people they delete, they end up killing, or or this all goes backwards, and like we all have like freedom of speech and freedom of press again. It just depends on really how it goes. I mean, first they delete us and they kill us. I mean, it's pretty much how society goes.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is realistically, it's like, who the fuck cares about your opinion? Oh, you're offended? Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? Like, this is the thing. Yeah, I'm the size of a small, livestock animal. That's fine. But I'm not going to listen, I get on an airplane and you're not happy. Well, guess what? I fit in one seatbelt, so go fuck yourself. You're stuck here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right? I never understood when the people with like sad opinions or angry opinions became the rule maker. They're like, I don't like this. I'm like, okay, write a Yelp review, stupid. I don't give a fuck. It's
fuck like, off.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, go to Yelp with the rest of the fucking sad losers. I don't give a fuck. It's like, I mean, that's all it really is. It's like, oh, you have an opinion now? Like, all right, well. You know what I mean? It's like I'd like to reintroduce you back to your parents and like fix your problems and stuff, but I'm not really into that. It's like I'd rather just call them idiots, and like and then they start saying like they start calling retard the R word. That was like it for me. It's like it's like whatever the N word is or whatever they're like what's that? I'm like, okay, maybe years of oppression. I maybe I'll be polite and not say that, like to make my friends laugh, And then they're like, don't say faggot. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't say faggot. And then like maybe I don't know. And then they're like, don't say retard. And they called it like the R word. Like you use the R word. I'm like, oh man, we've gone too far. I'm out, man. It's like I can't even fucking
listen.
Imagine I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dino.
I was gonna say look, N word, a lot of hate. I get it.
You got me there. Yeah, you got me there.
I'm like, you know what? I didn't know the history. I learned the history. I said, you know what? That's pretty bad. Okay. But then R word, no. That's the word. Retard is the word.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Oh, someone else abused it? That's not my fault.
They think they're like, whenever I call somebody a retard, they're like, well, my brother's mentally handicapped. I'm like, if you related the word retard to your brother, that's like your fault.
Yeah, you're the asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not me.
It's not me, yeah. And like my gay friends say faggot more than anybody I've ever met in my life. Like they don't even care about it. You know what I mean? But like they say like every other word, and I'm like, I'm saying it. If you're gonna say every other word, I'm saying it sparingly to make my friends laugh.
I find it interesting you say retarded that people want to give you the family tree like you wanted more. Like I already called you stupid. Like why do I want more information? Like no, sir. Like come to this PowerPoint presentation. I'll definitely show you that my tree branches. Like, nah, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't care. Like,
my brother's retarded. You can't say retarded.
And you're like, that's what are you doing? Like, how are we arguing right now? That doesn't make any sense.
That's just context, man. They don't understand context when it's convenient for them or something. It doesn't. It's always like everybody just want to like make all these stupid rules and everybody just went with it, and now we're just like stuck with like nothing. Like we're stuck with like Joe, like a president that can't stay awake. Like a fucking like. You know what I mean? Like Trump was so bad, right? Like so that whatever. But then they got like Joe Biden. It's like do better. If you have a complaint, fix the problem or do better. Don't get a guy that can't fucking.
I'm sorry, guys. I really thought I drank that Kool-Aid. I thought it was going to be 4 better years. Listen. And I see the stickers on the gas pumps, and I held my head in shame. I am part of the problem.
Because like Trump has problems, but like you don't want to get worse. You don't want to get a guy that like can't fucking use a restroom and can't stay awake and like can't form a sentence. Like his only job is to read a teleprompter, and he can't even do that. You know,
I forgot that he pooped himself.
Well, that makes sense. It goes to the comedy and cancel culture. I think we're losing progression. We can't because they keep saying we can't. Imagine if Carlin said his famous words you can't say in television bit. He would get one word in, get canceled, kicked off Sirius XM. Like it'd be the 8 words you have to say in your apology YouTube video.
That's so true. Yeah. And like we need guys like that to push the limits again. I mean, there's people like that happening. It's just like we need to give them more press coverage. We need to give them. It's kind of annoying just to say words to be ballsy and push lines, but I mean we have to do that right now. We're gonna lose. We're gonna be talking in fucking 4 emojis. You know what I mean? Like that's all they're gonna give us. Like,
well, they work themselves in a shoot. They want cancel culture. Now they got everyone wanting a new breed of edgy new comics that don't know how to do it. So now they're just coming out saying the words without learning the craft first, and then maybe learning how to soften it up for all crowds. I think that would be my opinion. Dino, please educate.
It's just run rampant though. So now one of those trends on fucking reels and TikTok and shit is is it fact or cap? You can't say crap. Really? Crap is a bad word. Go fuck yourself. Okay.
Yeah, it just keeps getting worse.
You're just like that. And the thing is, everyone's going, "Oh, well, I have to follow the rules." You know what? No, you don't.
They're not even rules.
It's not a rule.
Yeah, they're not even rules.
That's like some guy down the street who's like, you know what? I'm never going to jerk off for the rest of my life. Why do I have to suffer that? Go fuck yourself. You can go not jerk off in your own house. Why the fuck are you telling me?
Yeah, it's just like it just doesn't make any sense, man. I have no interest in playing that game. It's like I follow like the 10 Commandments and like the Bill of Rights, and after that, I'm kind of like they lose me, you know. It's like I'm not gonna kill people. I'm not gonna like steal shit. I'm not gonna like and they kind of lose me after after all this stuff. I'm kind of just like just like some fucking like brown, like pink haired lesbian like yelling at me. It's like fucking like they're gonna die of like heart disease before anything else. You know, it's just fucking insane. Like
that's very true.
Yeah, it's very I just don't understand it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not getting involved. We're like, hey, let's talk about this. No thanks. Later. I'm like,
I don't want to guess your fucking gender. If you have to like tell me your gender, you're fucking ugly. You know. It's like.
Dude.
It's the benefits of looking like an ogre. No question.
You are making fucking quotes today, man. You are dropping some knowledge. I greatly appreciate that very much. Dino, you got anything for him, man? I've been hogging up all the spotlight.
No, it's more so the concern, like with regards to, I know Anthony, you've been canceled on multiple platforms and stuff. So how do you I guess manage to circumvent that people who, well, let's be honest, are out to nitpick everything you say and do? Like, do you just, I feel like there's an opportunity to become a better bastard versus a combative bastard, you know? Like, instead you can word things better. Like, what's your opinion on that? Because obviously it's something you're going through and it's fucking ridiculous, but
Yeah. No, I doubled down, and like I think like they're gonna push me off the internet into real life more, and they're gonna regret that a lot more. I've been buying if I wasn't censored multiple times, like I had a Facebook where like 1 million people get deleted. I had like my verified Twitter get deleted, and this is shit. It takes like 10 years to build. You know, this was this is like it takes forever to get 1 million people. As far as me, I don't know if you're Charlie Sheen, you did in 15 minutes when you just had AIDS or whatever. I don't know, but like fucking like, but I had to like work towards it. I had to get like fucking like I had to like work like 5 years to get like 1 million people and all that stuff. They take away in 10 fucking seconds. But what I learned is that like I just started doing radio, other people's podcasts, newspaper ads, billboards. So what I realized is like you can ban me from fucking Twitter for life if you want, but like you're gonna have to like read my billboards, you're gonna have to see me in real life, you're gonna have to listen to my podcast. I mean, I'm gonna keep putting myself out there regardless, and just not. And it does make you better. It makes you. I think it makes you way stronger than that because like you like I would have been like an idiot just like telling like dick jokes, selling t-shirts with my face on at a bar, and like now they like almost like pushed me to be more ambitious. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really. As a comedian, I really wasn't that ambitious. I was just kind of like, okay, as long as I can like make money to travel and like, you know what I mean, smoke weed in my car for like 3 hours before my set, I should be fine. You know, it's like just little goals and like eat free food, drink free beer. I mean, just little fucking goals. And then they like push you away and take away all your hard work and then like try to fuck you over and you just get mad and work harder, you know?
Yeah. No, that's reasonable.
Well, I don't know if you could talk. I'll be vague enough so we can. I actually seen this firsthand from you. This was years back. The can of soda incident that went viral through the St. Louis comedy scene. Anthony just posted a picture supporting a local St. Louis brand soda, and you would have thought he was the worst man in the world. People went off just going off on this man, and that's when I became a fan because you doubled down, you stayed true, and it was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Dino, what do you got?
I just wanted so for my own awareness, it wasn't like Nazi soda brought to you by the SS or anything like that you were.
No,
it was like good soda, and I like this soda.
And so, you'd act like I was like, man, I love vests, but fuck the Jews. You know, it's
well, that's what I'm assuming, right?
That's what you think this ad, but no, it was I got this. I was sponsored by Red Hot Riplets and Vests, which are two strong St. Louis brands that I wanted to work with when I started to finally having people read what the fuck I'm saying, like 10 years into what I'm doing, and like I'm finally like doing this, and like and these like all these like little jealous like little bitches like came at me and like fucking reported it to like Cot Beverages from Zone's Best and like just kept reporting it and trying to fuck it up for me. And then like they interviewed me and they sounded so insane and like just undereducated. It just made no sense. Like they're like in Washington Post it said this and then this and this and like we're RFT if 5 people read us. You know, it's just like it just made no sense. And like they were just calling my quote was like, yeah, my grandfather used to get vests for me when I was a kid. And they're like, that's racist. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like, basically, you know, and like, I really wish that our problems could be reduced to racism. Like, what's wrong with the economy? Oh, racism. Like, let's stop racism so the economy gets better. You know, it's such a stupid little kid's like version of reality. It like makes no sense to argue about crayon colors. Like, either way, it's like just boring. It's like, I don't care if you're black or white or hate black or white people. It's just not my thing. And it's boring. It's just like literally boring. Like, judge people for cool reasons. You know, it's like, it's just like And I said in that article, I think all this just divides the oneness of God, and they're just like, and that's what it does to me. Basically, just divides all of our oneness, like divide us into these subcategories and whatever. And like that was just fucking annoying. That was like the first kind of like that was one of the first or second kind of pops. I think it was the second one. The first one was like insane. I made fun. Yeah. The first one I made fun of like. I said Ferguson, Missouri looks like a rap video because like everybody was just like holding up bottles and shit, and they said those, like somehow that was racist, like saying a rap video was racist. I don't know. I'll never understand these people, man.
My honeymoon was in Ferguson, Missouri, and I love juvenile music videos. So you just put 2 to 2 together, and let's just whatever you want to draw your own conclusions.
That's what it looked like. Not even to be rude. They could
I agree.
They could have been Native American doing that shit. It would have looked like a rap video. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like they could be anything. It's just so dumb. It's like okay, well, he made an observation about black culture. It must be racist. You know,
it was actually. In my eyes, what I said was positive. Like I like rap videos. I would love to fucking go there and party. I did. It was my honeymoon.
And how many rappers came out of that culture? Like you had 5 or 6 local rappers like Tef Po blow up from that shit, man. So I mean, but they fed into the culture and the narrative. You're supposed to push this divide. I mean, that's why they push like who's that kid who shot somebody versus like Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, they're gonna show this fucking Kyle Rittenhouse trial because it divides America and pushes the Civil War agenda. And then they're going to hide the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and like even though it's a federal trial legally is why they said it, but I mean that would unite people. Like if you
how dare you unite people?
And that's what they don't want. I mean, they kill the uniters and reward these fucking like Colin Kaepernick's, Kyle Rittenhouse's, whatever the fuck his name is. They reward all these like idiots that push divide and like racial divide and all this shit. And then like try to call like a vest, like they're so delusional. They called me drinking vest racist. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, what race am I being racist towards that drinks vest soda? I mean, white people, like white trash people.
I was more offended. I think it was red cream soda or something like pineapple. I was like, at least get a decent vest.
I love them all, man. I still love them all. even after that guy fucking went off of me, like I still love Vess. They can't ruin that for me,
It's a good soda, man. It's
like 25 cents or some shit. It's like so cheap, dude. Like Coca-Cola is like $2. Like Vess is like 20 cents. I'm like, Vess.
Dr. Vess is on my prescription. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're the best mixers for vodka too, man. Like if you just like, if you're a drinker, man, that blue raspberry, whatever the fuck. I mean, all that shit's good, man. And like that's what us racists drink. That's our racist fuel. Like
apparently.
Why are you imposing color on raspberry? Just because it's blue doesn't mean it identifies as blue. Won't you ask it and see what it really
No, there's actually a blue raspberry. That's where it comes from. It's a very unique thing. Anyways,
yeah, but that's only following on society's
rally, I think.
I just feel, Anthony, that you should, like, you already have the glass and the beard. I feel like you should invest in like a fake nose and mustache. Like comically large one. Yeah. And just like start. I'm thinking of doing this for myself where it's going to be like not Dino the Genetic Marvel and then have me with, glasses, giant nose and mustache and go, and just hate myself. That way, at least I'm getting support on some end. Because
I'm not Anthony Rogers. That man's racist because he drinks Vess.
Exactly. Yeah. Be like, do you know what ogres do? Horrible, that guy. Immediately, like, start the hate. Have a direction for the hate, people. This
put on blackface. I wear blackface and yell at white people. Like, call everybody racist. Like, that's so racist. Like, I call everybody racist. I never understood, like, how do you even become racist? Like, where's the KKK even at? Like, what do you just, like, you hit up the KKK, you're like, hi, I'd like to be racist with you guys. Is it possible? What are you guys doing Tuesday? You want to, like, burn some lowercase t's or some shit? It was like, is that what you do? I don't even know how to be racist. Like, how can you even be racist? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is the thing. I grew up in the 80s, okay? And I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So, like, my siblings were born in the 60s and 70s. Well, and I'm like, and I knew, hey, don't do blackface. That's not okay. And I'm going, what is happening that people are like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand out like this. And you're like, okay, listen, guys.
I don't necessarily understand that either, because I think, like, you can, like, have an appreciation for the person. Like, say you want to be Kobe, your kid wants to be Kobe Bryant for Halloween or something like that. That's almost like a compliment at that point. Like, that your kid wants to be Kobe Bryant, and that's just how he looks. I mean, I don't think it necessarily diminishes anything. And, like, I'm not really a person that thinks that every single black person's a victim or something. It just makes no sense. Like,
it's just a horrible waste of makeup. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Why are we doing this?
I think that's more accurate than like, because I mean, you can be racist in blackface, but I mean, it's subjective. It's like a hammer. A hammer can be used to, like, murder a family or build a house. It's how you use the tools. It's not necessarily the tools. It's like, they're like, oh, guns kill people. Or like, fucking, this is a blanket. It just doesn't make any sense.
Reminder to our listeners: always have a tool belt with multiple tools, not just a hammer by yourself. That's how you find an excuse.
Well, that's not that long ago. We act like if it's immediately racist, but we have examples of comedic actors doing blackface in contemporary times better. And I can go from Robert Downey Jr. to Karl Malone, Jimmy Kimmel, to, like, all this stuff. It's not acceptable now, and I understand their side. But why can't we make that different now? We've been educated on the vaudevillian stuff. Can my son, who does nothing about the WB Frog and all that vaudeville and Al Jolson stuff, he just maybe wants to dress up like LeBron James? Like,
right?
Do I have to explain to him that situation? He can't because of history, or can we evolve from there? I guess.
Wouldn't it almost be more racist to tell people they can't dress up in blackface? Like, it's almost like more racist to be like, you can't. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you can't admire black athletes because that, and like, that's like the first thing they see too is their skin color. I was talking about it. I posted some Jesus quote on Facebook, and some guy's like, yeah, but he was a fucking like Republicans wouldn't like him because he was a Middle Eastern man and blah 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 blah. I'm like, if the first thing you see with Jesus is race, you're probably fucking mentally ill. It's like makes no, like, that's like the first thing. Like savior of the human race didn't come up. Dying for our sins on a cross didn't come up. Like being the only nice person that ever walked the earth didn't come up. I mean, he's like, no, he was brown skin. I don't think anybody in Missouri would like him very much. And I'm like, what a dumb fucking take. It's like so stupid. Like that people put such.
They didn't even mention his, like, solid carpentry or anything.
Yeah, like, dude, his rabbi experience.
Initially sandbagging him for no reason. Like didn't even give him a compliment sandwich.
Yeah, it's like you go to Jesus' LinkedIn, it just says not white. That's basically what he was saying to me. That's basically just what he was saying to me, and it was just so dumb, and like I couldn't even believe like how fucking like childish the left is. I mean, you know what I mean? And the radical left of that, not just like most Democrats probably aren't ridiculous, but like the radicals make it ridiculous, you know?
Well, that's the thing is it's the idea that race has to be focused on.
Yeah,
right. Like I'll be honest with you. If I saw somebody in blackface, I'm like, I'm getting out of here. That guy's gonna get killed. I'm like, I'm not gonna hang out, right? But I'm not gonna. Well, but that's the thing is, I'm not gonna. I'm like, I think that's something like. For me, I'm like, I'm Greek. Okay, Greek people have suffered in the past and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, listen, I just don't think it should be anyone's focus because the fact is, like, I have my one sibling looks like he's from Southeast Asia. He looks like he was born in India. I'm like, he's got a darker skin tone. And we had those kind of issues. And I'm like, but me, I'm very, very light skinned. So I'm like, I don't really care. I'm like, hey man, whatever. It's weird.
Back in the day, I see it way more. I think this is like the least racist generation of all time. I think actual racists are almost like people are afraid to even be racist anymore. So it's not like a time where like it's acceptable. I mean, this is the time if you're racist like right now, you're getting called out in 10 seconds. Like people that aren't racist are getting called out. So it's a different kind of time, I think. Like
even my son, like it's school's completely different. All that, like I went very Midwest, and I mean it wasn't complete. It was tolerant. I will say we respected each other. We may still have the razzing and stuff like that, but now I think the new like you pegged it. The new generation's doing it right, and I think they're going to find out the happy medium, hopefully. But
yeah, I was a fat kid. I was called everything from like faggot to fat ass. I mean, I didn't give a fuck. I mean, it's like, I mean, maybe at the time, but like, it doesn't. I was a fat kid with a bowl cut, man. I was bullied too. It doesn't just happen.
You probably deserved it if you were a fat kid with a bowl cut.
You do, yeah. Why would you have the bowl cut, right? Like, I should have just been good looking, right? But no, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like everybody's gonna get bullied no matter what. Even if you do the right thing all the time, you're gonna get bullied. Even if you do I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. It's how people are, and you're not just gonna end that by fucking silencing free speech, you know, and like calling everything hate speech. I mean, that's just polite fascism, you know.
Well, I think there's a definite benefit to the idea of character building with that interaction between kids, but at the same time knowing boundaries. We're going, hey man, now you're just being an asshole, right? Like there's that line where you're going, hey man, be quick-witted, have the interaction, be able to come back and clap back at people because that builds character. But it's like, listen, if some kid is crying because they don't want to go to school, hey, someone hasn't done their job, right?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like
there is a line for sure.
And that's why I'm like, listen, I have no problem if someone's like, hey man, like sports balls this past weekend, we had somebody make a comment where it was like, listen, that person has every right to make that comment. You can't like they've gone through that experience, they can say whatever they want, right? So at the same time, you're going, well, listen, I'm not getting involved. Why? Because that's not my experience and I want nothing to do with it. Is that fair? Yeah. But it's like, at the same time, I'm not going to go out and silence a guy who has had that experience, has every right to talk about it. No way. Not going to do it.
Well, I think that's the broader point I guess I was trying to make. We're on Idiotsayswhut. So again, take whatever knowledge we're trying to drop with a grain of salt. We're just trying to live in this life that we have right now.
Well, so, knowledge definitely spelt wrong. That's okay.
Exactly. What I think is we need to have these discussions. I've been so afraid to even talk about this. Like I want to know. I'm not upset if you tell me I'm wrong about my theory. Like I want you to. I want to have a conversation so I can understand it better. Because I'll be honest, this is a situation I will have no experience with ever because of who I am as a person. But I'm willing to try to figure it out. But I also want to have an open dialogue on this. Like. Yeah, and I think sometimes that gets shut down because we're so scared of offending.
But listen, there's so many people, and I don't know, Anthony, maybe you can chime in on this and give your perspective here, is that there are so many people whose entire identity is wrapped up in one individual thing that has nothing to do with who they are as a person. I'm like, listen, I don't hate you because you're a certain color or from a certain country, but I will hate you because you're a piece of shit person and you have no morals. That's my right.
I'm tired of you bullying my Guitar Hero skills, Dino. You know how good I am rocking the guitar.
We'll get better, you know. It's tough love. You got to get better, you know. If you don't like being not good at something, you got to be good at something. You try it out, you know. So like, with anything though, I just like I was like talking the other day, like I commented on this thing, like some girl was like, "What would you do with $1 million?" And I commented, "Be middle class." and like I was like making
lower
fun of,
middle,
like,
but yeah.
yeah. I was making fun of like inflation and like the value of money, and then she like comments on there like it was like a black and white thing. She's like, well, it must be nice to be white and be able to say that's middle class, but like black people don't make money. And like she basically like I think calling black people poor and saying they don't make money, and the response is more racist than anything I said. And I'm like, Will Smith is richer than me. Is like it's just like a dumb argument. Yeah, very rich. He has a way better couch than this, And like, yeah, this isn't even even close to Will Smith's couch.
Multiple better couches.
Yeah, and this isn't even close to Will Smith's couch. But I'm saying like,
he has a better couch in his garage. Like just hanging out.
4-person ones, like not even 3. It's a 4-person couch. You're like, listen, you can't. Yeah,
he's just a better person than all of us. He's
Yeah,
a legitimately better person, and that has nothing to do with race. He just worked hard. What I mean, he just worked hard. He did his thing, and then that's the annoying thing. It's like all like she like acted like every black person's broker than me somehow. And I'm like that is such a dumb fucking thing to say, and probably way more racist than me making fun of inflation.
I respect Will Smith for staying married to Jada Pinkett Smith. It's not like she's been easy on. She's a tough woman, man.
Well,
like those round tables get serious.
I think she left him.
Really? Is that what?
He'll take her back. He'll take.
I don't think she was ever together.
Sorry, go ahead.
All those Epstein leaks, man. Like you had Bill Gates' wife leave him. You had Jeff Bezos' wife leave him. You had Will Smith's wife leave him. All those pedophile leaks, man. They're fucking like at least the wives were affected by it. I mean, no one else is ever going to go to jail for it.
Well, it was their chance to go out for safety, right? Be like, well, this is my shot. I'm leaving it now, or I'm never leaving. So.
You told me you and Jeff were just friends.
Yeah, you're a liar, sir. You're a liar. And here, give me my billions of dollars. I'll see you later. Yeah. See, this is the one thing that I find just absolutely hilarious is that it's like people don't understand that you're like, listen, if you want to be famous and you want to be successful, it's a lot of goddamn work. And in any environment, and we were talking about this off camera, Tim and I, was like, if your economy or country can afford to have just one billionaire, yet still has people who are homeless and hungry at the end of the day, your country has failed. It's that simple.
Society as a whole. And these guys buying NFTs, man, they're buying $200,000 JPEGs and not feeding the poor. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these guys, man?
Yeah,
like it's your moral responsibility as a rich person to feed the poor. I think personally, I think it really
absolutely.
Is.
And to be in the soup kitchen, to be serving, that's the key.
It is. I agree.
That's a matter of integrity, principle, and character.
100%.
You being, I'm going to throw money. No, you're just a dick.
Yeah,
that's who you are.
Before we go, we actually had French accent Kevin Bitten here last week, and we were talking about this woman who was selling farts in jars at OnlyFans, and because of her diet almost died. She changed her format so she could live. She's now selling fart in the jars NFTs. If you want to discuss on this, you can. I just thought you guys we went into this territory.
Are they scratch and sniff?
The game well better be for $2,000,
dude. Yeah, I couldn't if you need a fucking nothing's a better IQ test than buying an NFT. It's like no better
I just
IQ
don't
test.
get it. I don't get it.
I think Facebook going by Meta was like a scheme to take the focus off all their crimes and shit. There's like, we're not Facebook anymore. That data mining company created by the CIA to make you put your face and all your fucking things. No, we're not that. We're Meta.
We're Meta. It's different.
We're going into the metaverse. You probably don't understand it because you're poor enough from Silicon Valley. You probably just don't get it. We're geniuses. Let the geniuses let the robot reptilian fucking humanoids take care of it, and you just sit back in fucking Ohio and like get in the metaverse with us. It's like it was such a dumb and delusional pitch that he has no idea how humans work at all.
They jingle. You get your own avatar, like keys to us. Like hey, you get your own avatar right over here.
I believe. What they did was they're just announcing to everyone this, hey, our national espionage program is now going international. That's what they did. We're going through outside of the country for our espionage, not just staying local. Because you know what? Progress is progress, people. Got to find them secrets.
we're I ain't gonna lie. We talk about Reddit and memes. When he did introduce it, shame on whoever set up the background for Zuckerberg when he did it. There was like a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's on the show. Yeah. Like they didn't even try. Like it turned into a weird ARG YouTube hole if you really wanted to, of like secrets. Like, this is ridiculous. What is he really trying to say?
Remember those crazy YouTube videos where it's like a mannequin talking and like weird sounds, and you're like, that's every interview with Zuckerberg is like that. And you're like, at some point in history, people would be like, so this was an interview with a robot before everyone knew he was a robot. Watch how his face doesn't fucking move. Like,
yeah, he's like a lizard that put on a human suit pretending to be human. Like, that's what he seems like.
An ill-fitting lizard suit. Or a human suit. Like,
he's like, I'm just smoking meats. Like, people no one fucking says that. No one just like says I'm smoking meats. I mean, like they all say barbecue or I'm grilling or the terminology.
Like a dark alley. Hey, I'm just smoking meats out here. You're like, that makes sense.
I bet you are, Zuck. You know, it's like,
it's Soylent Green. It's people.
Yeah, it's just so weird, man. It's like these people just like are fucking. I think we had a rise of consciousness, and that's like they used the pandemic to kind of hide that, like this rise of consciousness we had, where we saw through all these fucking idiots. We saw through all these idiots. We saw they're just sex. We saw the CIA and celebrities were sex trafficking and drug trafficking and all these different things on high levels, and like we got locked down for it, not them apparently. So that was weird. I figured they should be on house arrest instead of me, you know.
It all turned on our heads when we realized the tinfoil hats that we saw, like Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory, that shitty '90s movie, was right the whole time. It is pretty good.
Well, that's what they do. They get crazy. They get crazy people to say the truth, like Alex Jones. They get a guy like Alex Jones to scream the truth. No, I don't even like
a crazy person. Yeah.
But
and you're like, he's right.
Yeah, that's the worst part. The worst part is that he's fucking right. Like, that's the worst part. I mean, it's like in 2006, I'm like, shut up. All my friends were telling me this shit. I'm like, shut up. And I started seeing it happen. I'm like, holy fuck, Alex Jones and David Icke are right. Like, this is fucking insane, you know?
Right?
I'm like, it's
dude, those both guys, you're going, listen, of all the people to not be right, I want you to be not right the most.
Yeah.
And they're right. And you're like, God damn it. Seriously?
I laughed at him for a decade, bro. And I started seeing it happen. I'm like, oh man, was that like a psyop or something? Like, you just made the truth seem so crazy.
That's the thing though, is like, so we were you may have heard part of our Am I the Asshole segment where we were talking about that guy, and you're going, listen, we're finally seeing the fact that it's like, oh, your employer could give a fuck about you. Number one. Government, even less of a fuck, especially unless you aren't paying taxes. Then they give all the fucks for you. And you're going, listen, none of this makes any sense. And if anything, I feel like there is, like, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, was like, I believe there's a very good possibility we are entering a new quasi-renaissance where it's like people are challenging the status quo and also realizing the importance of art in general in life. Right?
I agree.
But we're not going to see it for like 50 years.
We need to weed through the trap because I'm not buying NFT fart jars. Like, this is art. We need to weed from the chaff. Like, we need to start dividing it now. Trim the fat. Go ahead.
Well, after the bubonic plague, we saw the same thing. That's when the Renaissance happened after the plague the first time, and our world's happening a lot faster now. So it's like this isn't like we're not gonna have 1,000-year dark ages anymore. I mean, unless like we nuke everything. I mean, it's possible still, but it's not likely. And like to where we're just in this new area. I think you're right. I think you know what the Renaissance things. There's a lot of silver lining. People talk to their family again. They realize their worth again. They realize maybe working at Taco Bell till fucking midnight wasn't smart. So Taco Bell closes at 9 now. You know, it's like certain things like they're like, oh man, maybe I should go to school to become a painter instead of fucking stay up in fast food all day. I mean, a lot of people are evolving at rapid rates, and that's the impressive part that you're not seeing on the news. Like, news is just fear porn and fucking pain porn. You know, it's like, but in reality, I mean, there's a lot of silver lining in this experience right now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And that's one of the things. And like you were saying, people are talking to their families
Crystal.
more. Thanks, Crystal. People are talking to their families, but also people aren't talking to their families too. And I'm like, there you go. Because you know what? Fuck some of your families. They're assholes. And it's like,
well, that's a social media thing. I think that's just for clicks. I mean, they make everybody argue, and that's a huge impact. Social media, once everybody arguing, has the most impact. Like, that's what I used to do for marketing. It's like I'd piss everybody off because then you'd have the most range of marketing. But then like it comes to a point where we're seeing the results of that now, and it's not being good. And how people's grandparents are blocking each other and shit. You know, it's like you're having like if your grandma's getting banned for a meme and blocking you on Facebook, we've gone too far with shock culture and all this bullshit too. We got to get it back, and family's the one thing we got to stick it out no matter what. I mean, even if even if someone's a fucking loser and an idiot, or however you view them, or however they view me, we all have to fucking like band together as a family, and then a friend group, and then like country and city, and like, you know, I mean, we have to have each other's backs, or no one's gonna have our back, really, you know.
So, I'm gonna piggyback on that and say we have to, because we got to keep Grandma in the loop, because if not, all our recipes are going to suck for the next generation. Grandma's got the good food. Like, keep her on the. She's got the good techniques. You'll never know how that no-bake cookie worked before if you don't know now. You got to keep her in the good graces.
Dino, wisdom. We're losing wisdom. We're isolating ourselves from wisdom and people that actually care about us and know ourselves.
Right.
Well, and that's the other thing is, like, realistically, every time there has been war and or occupation of a country, one of the primary objectives was to destroy that country's history. So libraries, government records, those were all things that were stored. Like, so Greece was occupied by the Nazis, and that's exactly what they did, was they burned those places to the ground. Yeah. And like, look, we all have heard stories about the library in Alexandria in Egypt, and that was a huge thing where it was a central unit for knowledge. And you're going, yeah, and the fact is, finding those records has been a huge quest for a lot of people. But the idea that we're losing so much knowledge, you're going, there's a lot of odd history where you're going, hey, like, we talked about this a few weeks ago, Tim and I, on a previous episode, was the idea that, like, how much history can you verify? You're going, one generation, 2 generations, maybe 3 generations, you'll have something from family members, which will only be hearsay, but we can't confirm it. And you're like, now we're finding out history where you're going, hey, did anyone else realize that people were bastards back in the day? Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this shit again, you know? And then you're like, oh, we're doing, like, with regards to our current wonderful situation of not being able to leave our homes, you know, you have stuff going, hey, maybe we kind of fucked up. And we're going, no. The government can't fuck up. You're going, hey, the government definitely fucked up.
And it's the most untrustworthy institutions. It's the most untrustworthy institutions telling us these things too. Like, like all of a sudden, people trust the pharmaceutical industry and the government. I'm like, what? I'm like,
fuck that.
We've been insulting this for like 20 years, like at least. And then all of a sudden, like Bill Gates is the master of Earth now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, it gets surreal when you get your Canadian Prime Minister talking about a bunch of YouTubers that went to Canada in a plane on a press conference. Like, to me, that's like when political officials are now commenting on what people are doing. It just seems like there's so much vast problems out there than this. It's just more distraction. Also, shout out to all the people that got hammered playing our shot game. Dino has been mentioning Greek out that wazoo, so you are hammered, and thank you for watching it, all of us.
That's why the comments have died down. People are like, I'm too drunk to type. That's definitely well, this is the funny thing is that throughout history, we've always focused on family or community of some sort, right? Where my parents grew up, their priest, their local priest, was where they went to, but that was the same person that, hey, if somebody was out of work, they would go to the priest would help them out. If their kids didn't have food to eat, they would go to the church would feed them, right? It was a cornerstone of the community. But now people are focusing on, well, the idea, especially in the US, where it's like, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. You're literally focusing all your loyalty onto an organization that could give a flying fuck about you.
Most likely, yeah. No,
right?
You're right.
And that's where I'm saying, going, hey, yeah, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, Dino, but Biden tucks me in every night. I don't know where
I'm sure he whispers in your ear.
I think you're too old for it.
He reads me my favorite little critter book and smells my hair, where my hair used to be, my bald scalp. He smells it, says it smells nice.
I think you're too old. You're too old for Biden, man. Like, I think you're about 20 years too old for him, you know.
Well, that's what I thought too. But he says my boyish good looks always brings him around. I don't.
Okay. Well, you know, you got that going for him. I can see that actually. I may tuck you in with Biden now. You may have sold me on that. I don't know.
Hey. Thank you for coming, dude. This has been funny, enlightening, everything we wanted it to be. This is your time to shine. Please tell everyone where we can maybe get more of you on social media and anything live coming up.
No, you can find me on OnlyFans, my Snapchat Premium. And don't look me up. Don't listen to my podcast. Don't watch my movies or don't see my shows. You know, I'm trying to keep the numbers down. You know,
that's
valuable.
It's exclusive. It's being exclusive. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to be exclusive.
That's the way to be.
That's only fair. Listen, there's like an NFT. It's very exclusive. It's just...
the only difference is I exist. So,
In the real world, people, in the real world, it's amazing.
Yeah, fuck the metaverse, like let's bring back, let's fix Earth first, and and fix the real world before we all escape into fucking Futurama or whatever the fuck they're trying to do,
Dude, my son's generation's gonna pull up to the shady part of town to a corner, and the lady's gonna be coming to the way. What do you need? I need a $50 NFT from you, baby. Like, all right, yeah, okay.
It's like go back to doing drugs, America. Like you're a lot cooler on drugs, America. Like
you knew how to party then. You weren't so fucking uptight.
We need the 70s CIA. We don't need what they're doing now. We need the 70s CIA trafficking cocaine. That's what we need, right?
I love that you even know that. Most people I bring that up and they think I'm like crazy talking about the feds and like that stuff, smuggling drugs. And no, you're right. That's the entire blow and crack epidemic was like the CIA.
So like where you're going, hey, it wasn't just that they were doing it. Complete disregard for the safety of the nation. That's who did it, guys. Like,
a lot of the slums are here because of that. Still, I'd say I'd say parts of California, New York, Chicago. I mean, St. Louis, even were destroyed. Never came back from the crack epidemic, man. Like that they created to fund some fucking stupid jungle war or whatever.
How could you? Like it was completely debilitating on an entire
I have to disagree because without crack, we wouldn't have glorious Master P's album telling us how to make crack and that song. So, like, I don't know. You're trying to stifle art now, guys. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
The progress of mankind that
you become what you've hated. And
that's so funny, dude. That's so funny, man. It's true.
Hey, thanks for coming to the show, dude. This has been a blast. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah, have me on whenever, man. God bless you guys. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. We'll talk soon. Dude, that
was a damn good time.
You know what? We had a slow start, but once we hit our rhythm, that was really good. He was a really good guy. He was pretty cool.
Oh, dude, love it, dude. I fanboyed out a little bit because that's probably why he was skittish. He didn't know how I was coming on hard. I was like, hey.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like Michael Bryan's like Biden pets my boyish parts with Tim. I think you're sharing bunk beds with Michael Bryan. That's fantastic. Yeah, no. I had a few comments where it's like it was an intense interview, but at the same time, we touched some really cool stuff. Like realistically, where it's like, hey man, it's shit that is worth talking about. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable conversation.
Well, I guess it's bound to happen.
Sure.
I've been answering this for it's a theme. If you guys have been watching, we ask every comment what their thought about cancel culture is, because that opens the door on not only their ideas about comedy, but ideas about life and politics even. And it's a good question to answer. And what today did, I think we finally did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
We actually talked some serious stuff. We didn't solve anything. We're not here to solve anything. We just want to
No, but we made some points we're thinking about, right? We made some points that is going, hey, like, look, and I've been watching a few things where it's like, listen, the job of a comedian is to change people's perspective, hopefully in a funny way. Sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes it's more so that we're changing the idea of where you're looking from, where it's like, hey, man, you should be loyal to whoever has your best interest in mind, right? Like, I remember when Victoria and I, you just froze. Are you there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're good. I think Dino threw up all the intimidation in that. Thanks for backpacking this. No, but look.
Thank you, Michael. He is intimidating.
I am. Well, this is the weird thing is we've never met in person, and I'm like, I kind of am worried about that because like I've never met Ryan in person, and everybody, I'm like,
Ryan's shorter than what you think. That's all I'll say on
Everyone is short compared. I'm like, dude, so I'm 6'2", and it's like, I look down at a lot of people, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. It's not a big deal.
He's a cool dude. We hit some shit, and I'm glad we did. Like, here's the thing: main synopsis about this. You saw three men, open-minded, that are willing to be educated and willing to adapt to the world.
All have different opinions. We all have different opinions.
And I think that's good. Well, and that's what I wanted to do with this question. Is talk and actually talk some things out, see what happens. What's great is he's been on both sides. This is the first time we've actually had talked to someone candid enough to tell us how they got canceled, why, and how they came back from it. So that's why it took that journey, because we've never been there yet. This was new territory. We basically did anal for the first time on Idiot Says What, and no lube, dry.
That's not.
No,
I don't think that's a fair comparison there, Tim.
You saw our new screen wipe. It had Tiger King at the end. I think it was a very appropriate. I had to bring it up because Dino's self-conscious about it. It's like, really, Tiger King?
I'm like, listen, I think it's great. Why do we have to end on Tiger King? That's my specific. There's a very distinct, because it's like him and his two husbands. And I'm like, listen, man.
Why do we have to end on Tiger?
Why do we have to end on this?
It's not a finale. It's an.
That's not a, like, we're definitely projecting a certain ideology at the end
like
there. And I'm like,
what's your problem? Like,
listen, that's not the ideology we're telling. That's not what we're saying. Okay. And then Michael Bryan's like, how the hell have I not been on? Hey man, you're always welcome. Okay. But you can't take that line
Michael,
back.
Okay, first of all,
damn it.
You have your own segment. You actually have your own highlight where you carry our bags to a figurative
that is
show.
also true.
So Michael, you're always here in spirit.
Those poor tigers. Are you referring to his two husbands, or are you referring to the actual tigers? Because both.
What's funny, we went to the aquarium. We had to pet everything with 2 fingers. I wonder if you have to do that with the tigers. Just 2 fingers.
Oh.
Projecting. Am I projecting to the animals, Michael, or am I hitting on them? You know where I'm from, baby.
I think he's saying you're coming inside of them because he says projecting into the animals. So.
Oh, well, I didn't read that. Well, then, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Tigers know who's boss.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it. 2 pumps and a grind, and they'll stop that meowing. You don't do it. You put on Bump and Grind by Genuine. You don't actually get in the cage and show them your man meat. Come on now.
Somebody just sent me a video today. It's a YouTube video of seals singing "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. I'm gonna send it to you because it's delicious.
Please do.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You can't go wrong.
Oh Lord, this has been a good time. Do you want to hit the finishing part of "Am I an Asshole," or you want to leave it for next week?
No, just fucking move on.
Let's finish it, because right now I have to recap, because we had a great interview. I said the worker who left, basically he didn't get vacation time, and he's like, no, fuck this. You're not going to make me lose my vacation time during Christmas and all this. I'm quitting, and put in his resignation. And basically I called him the asshole.
Right.
Then things changed because the company didn't take no for an answer, like a creepy edgelord in your girlfriend's Facebook Messenger that just keeps waving at you over and over again.
Yeah. Well, they went so far as to call his emergency contact, which is his dad, when it's like, listen, man, there's been no emergency. Why are you calling? Like, this is the thing, is that when the company also was trying to say, is like, well, you have a responsibility. No, I have a responsibility to my family. And this is something that I've found has specifically been changing over the last few years, where people, you know what, there's a lot of people who are making a lot of money and are stupid. And that's not knocking stupid people. What I'm saying is they always thought, and a lot of people think this, is that money brings you happiness, which is, listen, does it make life easier? Yes. Does it bring you happiness? Absolutely not.
I blame TikTok. You see these TikTokers, and they're so happy. You know they're not. They're crying. They're crying. Like, I got all these millions, and this house is empty. That's the thing.
And it's that same idea. And I grew up with this statement, and I know it's maybe a little bit sexist, but it's like that, you can buy a house, but your wife will make it a home, right? Now, granted, obviously there are other relationships that are valid, and obviously it's that idea that there is going to be a nurturer in a household that makes it a home, right? And when you focus on something like that, it's important. But when your employer doesn't give a shit about your family or your necessity to put your family first, then it's no longer, that's a toxic relationship. And that's why I really applaud like the amount of people who are like, you know what? I want better pay. And they're like, no, okay, then I'm going to go get a better job. And that's a completely valid, rational move, right? So him saying, no, I've let you guys know in advance. Like, he said, listen, guys, I need this stuff as soon as possible. And I'm willing to stay late to make sure it's done. But they're going, hey, we couldn't get in time. Well, if you can't get in time, then they deserve to be penalized. It's not
And
on him, right?
I was still thinking the worker was an asshole too, because I was like, yeah, the dude. Because sidebar, the dude who hired him was a friend, so I thought calls to his father. Maybe he knew the father, PBs and J's with gyms, but then the dude started throwing $10,000 at him like a high class prostitute in New York, and I was like, ooh, we've reached.
That's why I think they were work friends, like. It's like, yes, we call ourselves friends, but you've never been to my house. You never like. I feel like it started where we thought that, and I thought the same. But then you're going, oh wait, no, it's not. This guy's we've been buddy at work for so long. We're cool friends.
Well, I think I've seen enough Nicolas Cage movies set in Las Vegas that the beginning time is always nice, but once you throw the money in her face and spit on her, it tends to turn bad. And that's what it seemed like happened. It turned when he realized the friend's tactic wasn't going to work. He went with a different tactic. And it looks like he's trying to do like Alec Baldwin's Art of the Deal on this motherfucker, and he's not having it, rightfully so. Which sucks though. I'm surprised. He seems like the company seems so petty. They didn't go, well, fine, you're not going to get your vacation anyways. like that matters.
Well, and that's why you're going, okay, like it's this weird thing where we're realizing who actually has the power in a situation. And this guy did everything right. He was like, no, I left instructions there. He goes, I've told you that I need a backup. You've chosen not to have a backup. Now you chose to not act like I act in good faith. Now you've betrayed that faith. Hey, sorry. No thanks. And that's why I'm going, listen, it's that idea that, well, you're not going to get a good review. I don't care, man. I'm good at my job. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm tired of our world being predicted by shitty TV writers. Simpsons for the longest time, and now Black Mirror is doing it.
Yeah.
Black Mirror's doing it. Like they literally had an episode where likes justify your rating, justify what you can go into and shit. And you watch it like that's ridiculous. And by the end of the show, you're like, God damn! I checked Facebook 5 times just to feel the endorphin rush of someone liking my new joke. Like it hits more home than you would like to think so. And I like this individuality the workers are getting. I wish we would band together and maybe do a union. The problem with the union is unions are kind of
listen.
It sucks that we can't just have Spider-Man in our leader. The people that actually used to take great responsibility, great leadership takes great responsibility. It's not great leadership means, tax breaks and I get the party and you shoot guns in there.
Well, this is the funny thing is that like Europe, where everyone, especially in North America, criticizes Europe for like their old way of doing things. Yeah. They have a 72% union, participation of you're going, hey, you know what that means is there's a very small group of people, managers, CEOs, executives that are not unionized. Everyone else is. And the fact is, I'll be honest with you, man, I've gone to a McDonald's every time I travel, I try and find a McDonald's and go to it just to check it out. I'm like, I'll get a Big Mac combo just to see how it is. I want to see if it's different. And it's different in every country. Just little nuanced differences, like the bread will be a little bit different, the meat will taste a little bit different, little things like that. Well, but the thing is, you see people and they're like, listen, there's a difference in being forced to smile because it's your job, you're paid to smile, and someone who smiles just because, hey man, I have a living wage and everything's okay. You're going, those are two very different smiles, and you get to pick up on where you're going, listen, I don't need you going, hi, good morning, how are you? What can I do for you? Blah, blah, blah. You're going, let's just calm down.
Also, working in so much customer service, I think overall, we have to kind of blame ourselves for the customer service treatment we're getting. We want things fast. We didn't care if McDonald's smiled for 30 years. Now we care in the last 2 years. It just seems weird. Like we pick and choose, Spider-Man would be the best president. That's what we should be talking about. Like right now, Joe is falling asleep and he's like falling out of his chair and Spider-Man goes, psh, shoots the web and catches them. It's like everybody gets one, and then he runs off.
I still feel that Joe Biden should not be held accountable for what's happening because I don't think he's actually awake. I feel like it's a Weekend and Bernie situation, maybe. I don't know. It's just very weird. It's very peculiar.
I can't really say. This is one of those things because I'm a Democrat. Sorry, guys. We've talked about blah, blah, blah enough of you.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover, people.
But I really thought Biden would do better than what he was doing.
Everyone hoped that. And this is, I forgot to bring this up with when we were talking with Anthony, was that like, I don't know about the rest of Canada, but I know Ontario, the province I'm in, is notorious for, we don't vote people in, we vote people out. So once you've done a poor job, we vote you out. So whoever else is next, like it's a weird thing. And I'm going, that's the problem, is that's a horrible system, because what you're proving is, oh, everyone gets a shot. You failed? Okay, well, we're going to use somebody else. Oh, you failed? Okay, we're going to go back to the other ones. And then we're going to, like, it just doesn't make sense. And that's why you're going, you guys said, like, you should be voting up. You should have an improvement every year. Like, that's the idea. And now you guys are on a downward trend that it's like, yeah, man, you guys are just voting people out. And, like, that's what happens in Canada. And it's fucking shit, because you have no progress upwards. You just have, well, that guy's an asshole. I want someone different. That's not a solution. That's an alternative of who the fuck knows.
That's something that, it's sorry, that my dog's underneath my table. So he wants love, and I'm giving him love. Beforehand history, Americans know this. For the longest time, we just voted you get 2 terms, and it was flip-flop. Yep. Trump changed all that, and set new precedents, and then Biden reaffirmed new precedents, but changed the way it was going to go. What I mean by that, he turned the voting back to the normal that it was before Trump in the states-wise, but he did an unprecedented, which was a one-term Republican president. A one-term president hasn't happened in my lifetime. So it's been, George H.W., yeah. But yeah, by 4 years. So he was 87 to 91, wasn't he, or something like that? Something like that, 88 to 92.
I was alive.
I barely remember him, so that's why I
What'd you have for breakfast, Tim? Go fuck yourself.
He was 4. I was like, shit, you look better than me. Well, this is an odd flex, Dino. Like, I don't smoke. Let's beat up on the diabetic man. Like,
I'm the diabetic, you asshole.
Well, goddamn, it makes sense why he's so angry. He lost a foot. It makes sense. Get this man a cigarette. Something's going. No, I'm kidding. With love.
You know what? I feel bad. I said that to Victoria today. I'm like, listen, your attitude, it just makes me want to smoke. And she felt really bad, and I feel bad for saying it. But I was like, at the same time, I really didn't like what she was doing at the time.
You had that one in the chamber, though.
Well, you're
waiting to stump your toe on something. This fucking end table is making me want to smoke.
I'm definitely, I can neither confirm nor deny that I have maybe considered various options that would result in, oh my God, somebody breathed smoke right into my mouth, and I breathed it in. I don't know what happened. Breathed it in, because that's a word. Fuck.
You're like, if Tim shows up bald and with crooked teeth, I'm going to smoke. Who wants this bet? Who wants this bet? Take this bet now.
I know. Yeah,
I'm going to show up with hair plugs and perfectly veneers, and you're going to be real mad. You're like, God damn it. The one time you go to middle class, Tim, like, how'd you even afford this?
Guys, like, share, subscribe. Let us know. Check us out on DNT Network on YouTube, Eargasm on YouTube and Facebook, the IUA Network, which we're supposed to be broadcasting there right now, but you can follow up there as well.
Wee's World Podcast Network as well.
Yeah, that's already there too. I got to get their logo and put it on our backgrounds as well.
We're trying to get in many new areas, get you guys coming in and engaging. What do you think about our guest Anthony? Have you seen one of his movies, Uwe Boll? What do you think about him? Am I an asshole story? It went through some layers. What do you think? And be honest, because I was like, you're not going to be I honestly think at first the guy was kind of being a dick about, he could have just quit and left, but I do believe the company kind of went above their beyond bounds. And has that ever happened to you? We'd love to hear your story.
Oh God, I would love,
because I got one too.
I would love to interview somebody like that. I would love for somebody to interview. If somebody's had that, votes don't count. Tim, you're crazy. That's actually really funny. Thanks, Serge. No, but like if someone has gone through a crazy quitting process, I think Michael Bryan might be somebody we can interview about that. Was like I'd like to hear that story because like I worked for a company for 15 years. I got a watch out of it, and the same year that I got a watch, I got fired. So it's like I don't have like every time I've quit, I've been like, hey, this isn't for me anymore. They're like, yeah, okay. It's always been like, all right, I'm gonna move on. And those were like, then I had a career job, and I was like, at that point, I've fallen out of love. And interestingly enough, in that guy's story was his father-in-law passed away. I'm like, my dad passed away, and I was just like, why am I doing this if it doesn't make me happy? It's just stupid. I'm like, why would I do this? It doesn't make any sense. So,
well, have you got? So that brings us to you guys out there. Have you ever had a situation like this where the company put you in a no-win situation, basically an all-win for the company and no-win for you and your family?
Well, yeah, they put your head in the strike zone.
Right. So we'd love to hear about it. I have quite a few. I've worked at every fucking place. So I'll comment and share some with you. We'll have a little discussion. But this has been a great show. Follow. I know he didn't say check out the podcast, but definitely check out Anthony Rogers' podcast.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I am. But thank you for coming, Serge. We appreciate it. I hope for some new flavors of Surge White Nuts in the future. We need that sponsor money. I'm running out of ties. But thank you to all the networks that are coming out there. DNT Network. It's our new established network where you could all find everything Dino and Tim. Please check that out on YouTube and check that out. It's going to be your streamline and your quickest way to get to Idiot Says What and Sports Balls. But while you're there, please tell us Eargasm, IUA Network, and Wee's World. Hello. Give them some love, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think we'll call that it. Comment, like, subscribe, check us out. We'll see you guys next week. Later.